Alright, we just learned about digital reading a pin. Now we're going to look at analog reading something. And to get started here, we're going to have to open our little box of goodies. Oops, wrong box of goodies. This box. So this case holds 2 of these. And this one, we're looking for this little dude right here. Nice. Okay, this is a pot or a potometer, and what we're going to do is take this and unhook a couple things, but we don't have to unhook everything. We just have to rearrange it. So in order, I'm going to put the data wire, then I'm going to put the resistor onto or connected to rail negative, and then we're going to connect power all 3 in a row there. So yellow, resistor, and then 5 volts, and you can see how that's connected here. And now instead of pin 9, we're going to switch over to A0. Anytime you're reading an analog, you have to go over here. Now that's not true. You can also go over here and use these pins, but you're going to have to state it as an analog input if that's the case. Alright, we're just going to plop this down. So these 3 pins, see there's 3 of those. The negative one will go towards the resistor, so plop, just like that. And then we're going to write some code. This is a fun class. Love it. Okay, hopefully that bare minimum is gone. We're going to get rid of the bare minimum. No changes on that. And we're going to start with the bare minimum again. By the way, it is also very important that you think about taking notes. You know, like I'm showing you how to digital read and digital write, digital or analog read, analog write. Those things are very important for up and coming things. These are the very basics, but you should take lots of notes. I always use Google Docs a lot for that. Okay. Well, we're going to start with the serial again. And it's also very important to retype your stuff. Don't rely on tidbits of code too much. Rely on your notes. Copy from your notes over. Type this stuff out. It'll help. Trust me. This is coming from a guy that's, you know, he went to programming school. I love programming. And the only way to really learn this stuff is type it out. Okay, in sensor value, so the same kind of deal we had before. This time only one thing is changed for this variable. We are going to be changing the equals analog read instead of digital read. And we'll say that pin is A0. And that's written right there on the Arduino unit too. You can see that it says A0 right next to that pin where the yellow wire's going in. And just like before, we're going to have serial period print line sensor value in decimal format. Just like that. So the only thing we really changed in our code is the analog read in the pin. Expected blah blah in front of the blah blah blah. Oh, so that means that I forgot a semicolon up above. Alright, let's go over to serial and see what happens. Okay, we have a pretty high number here. And the high number is being dictated by the actual pentameter. And if I tone down that pentameter to, let's say, counterclockwise, you can see those numbers change. But I can't go lower than 932. Well, the resistor I used right there is my problem. So I'm going to use a lower resistor value. I'm going to use a 22 ohm resistor, and you can go even lower than that too. But don't use a negative wire, because you could potentially get so high of a resistant value that it will knock the Arduino unit off the USB and short out. It's a temporary short, of course, because Arduino units are pretty durable that way. But use a very low resistor value instead of the negative. Always use a resistor for negative on these pins. Okay, so now I switched out that to a 22 ohm, and now look at, I got the value of 20 to 21 all the way up to about 1000. Alright, that's an analog read. Now again, we can say things in the future here. If pin equals 852, do something else. Make an LED turn on. Make an LED fade. Remember our analog feature that we had earlier, the one that's it made the light glow from 0 to 255. Well, I could state a value here, and instead of the 255 I can say 21, and then as I turn it up the bulb would get brighter. Okay, all kinds of good stuff. We can also redirect these numbers to a specific value that we want. Right now they're 22 to 1000, but I can redirect those numbers to be, let's say, 0 to 255. We'll learn more about this in upcoming videos, but for right now, you now know digital read and analog read. Very important. Enjoy.